If you were to point the finger of blame at one person primarily, who is it?
Freddie Kitchens. Look, we can have a discussion about Baker and how he's playing, and obviously he's contributing in some of these problems. But Freddie Kitchens is putting an undisciplined football team out there, a team that he's not compensating for when you talk about, like, how many discussions have we had about this offensive line? At what point do you say, damn it, I'm going to protect those guys? Like, we are in the 9th week of the season and we still talking about how they can't protect. Well, do something about it. Give Baker some outs. And then, too, like, you should tell your quarterback, all right, I'm going to the 4th and 4. You should tell your quarterback, look over there. If it's one guy by number 13, throw him the ball. I don't care what the situation is. These are simple things in football that I've been around enough of offense to know that there are decisions that you need to make in order to help your guys. And if Baker is not seeing it, you, Freddie Kitchens, have to say, hey, find a guy out there that can dominate a one-on-one and get him the ball.
Freddie Kitchens didn't hire himself. So at some point you have to say it's systemic with the Browns. Like, how many coaches have to spit the bit? How many quarterbacks do they have to trot out there under center before we look at a front office and say maybe they're the ones to blame here, Dan?
Yeah, and this is a massive whiff by John Dorsey. A huge whiff with the head coaching hire of Freddie Kitchens. And listen, I've talked about Freddie a lot on this set, and rightfully so. But John Dorsey was the guy that after last season and the success they had at the end of the year said John Dorsey was going to be the person to take this really talented football team and lead them. Because here's the reality. Let's just be black and white. In the NFL, there's talented teams and non-talented teams. With the non-talented teams, when they're losing, you have to ask, okay, is the coach doing enough to overcome that talent? The Cleveland Browns are not in that group. They are a talented football team. So now the question becomes, why are they losing? Well, they're losing because they're not coached with details. The coach that was put in that position was placed in that spot by John Dorsey. So yeah, it has to start with John Dorsey making that hiring and then trickle down to Freddie Kitchens. But it's not just a Freddie Kitchens thing anymore.
Where does it go from here, Dan Graziano?
Well, it depends on how the rest of the season goes, right? If it gets uglier or stays this ugly, then obviously they have to reassess Freddie Kitchens and figure out if they need to make a change there. Watch the quarterback. If the quarterback continues to look like he's not developing or that he's regressing, that's when the front office will activate in a way that involves the program around him. I go back to last year. I was covering their game in Pittsburgh the day before they fired Hugh Jackson and Todd Haley, and there was a lot going on around that team that day. And one member of their front office said to me, look, if it's bad for the quarterback, we're going to get rid of it. And I think that still pertains because that's where they have the high draft pick and the money.
That's the part that drives me crazy, though. And I know we've set aside some time for this later, but they hired him because he's supposed to be good for the quarterback, Swagoo.
I can't, G. I can't.
What?
It's all right.
We're going to get you through this.
You want to talk a little college? You want to talk?
These people getting paid to do this.
Well.
Like, I just don't understand. Look, there comes a point when you, in a professional setting where you say, you know what, we missed. And we got to make a change. And us having a conversation about John Dorsey. But even with Freddie Kitchens, like, if your quarterback ain't that dude, figure out how to make him that dude enough to at least survive what you do. Right now, it looked like the Cleveland Browns said, hey, man, Bate, good luck.
Everyone, thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports, more analysis, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+. We'll see you there.